Hey, Kyle here. Hey, I just made a new tapering jig for the lathe, and I just want to show you some of the cool new features. Okay, so here is the new tapering jig for the lathe, and what I've done is I've basically beefed up what I already had. What I had worked fine, but I use this a lot, so I wanted to make sure that it was a little bit more robust and a little bit more versatile than what I had before. So what I started out with was actually the base unit here. So before this was half-inch plywood, and this top part where the 6-degree taper is was just screwed on to the half-inch plywood. So I kind of stepped it up a notch. Now, if I was building this just to build chairs with, I would just make this out of 3/4 inch plywood. But like I said, I use this a lot. So what I opted for is this fixture plate here. This is aluminum plate with 1/4 inch by 20 holes all along here. So I think these are half-inch on center, and there's a bunch of them. So what that allows me to do is put this cleat on here and screw it into the base along with my clamp here. And then this wooden piece here this is actually glued onto the base. And now when you're doing this, as much as you try to keep everything square and everything, there still could be a little adjustment that needs to be done. So the way I've done that is this wooden base is screwed here, so I got 4 screws here. So there's a little bit of wiggle room I can use to then move this just a little bit if I need to adjust this taper. And then if I even need to make more adjustments, I can do the same thing with this cleat here. Now, as you can see, I got a little piece of blue tape here on the cleat. That's because the ways on my lathe are not exactly parallel. They vary from thousandths to thousandths. And where I had this located, there was just a little bit of variation right up there. So I put that little piece of blue tape. Now, the way I do this is I actually have setup blocks here that I use to offset this jig from this. And this one right now, as I've used it, the setup block here is 15/16. And then we have this base unit here. And with this situation, with this particular drive, then this gives me the perfect 6-degree tapers for my jigs. Now, the actual tower unit, as I used to call it, that has changed quite a bit too. So, of course, I used some aluminum extrusion, and the base here is drilled out where I got these 4 screws. Those go to T-nuts that hold the aluminum to this base. And the way I can vary how close the cutter is by loosening these up and moving this entire unit forward or backwards. Let's see. Also, I have this plate here, and that just connects these 2 units here in the front. And then I have this angled gusseted. It's an 8-hole angled gusseted that holds the unit from behind. So that keeps everything nice and rigid. Now, what I like about this is it's a lot more rigid than my other one. It's a bit heavier too, so I've noticed there's less chatter when actually taking big cuts. Now, the actual cutter, I had some steel here, and this is 3/8 inch wide by 1/4 inch thick, and I just drilled and tapped it so I could put my carbide cutter there, and then I drilled 2 holes and connected it to this wooden base. Now, I had all this done before I ordered this plate. I had a little bit different design up here in the front until I saw this plate, and once I received it, you know, if I had to do it all over again, I would have probably ordered 2 of these plates and put one up here. And then I could have just drilled and tapped this and screwed this down to this plate and probably put some nylon locking nuts on the back side of that. That's what's on the back side of here. Under here are some nylon locking nuts holding this steady. Another feature here is I do have this nylon screw. So I can just simply unscrew this a little bit, so when I'm taking passes, I can take a pass like this and then turn it in half a screw length and then take another pass. And that's an easy way to keep this at a steady reference as I'm taking passes and passes. And what I want to do is once I get this nylon screw all the way inside this part of the base, then I'm taking my final pass. So that's basically it. Like I said, it's probably overkill unless you are doing this all the time. Now this one is set up for 6 degree. I'm going to go ahead and make another one for the 12.8 degree that matches the Lee Valley reamer. That's the second most common taper I make. And so I'll be doing that too. So anyway, hope you like this little addendum. If you have any questions, just let me know and I'll be happy to answer them. So thanks a bunch for watching.